We're here on site at a property that we're looking to acquire, performing due diligence. Due diligence is basically the set of steps that we're going to follow in order to mitigate any risk of us finding out some surprises post-acquisition.
So today we're doing inspections on this 32-unit property. We're going to be walking the inside of the units with the property manager, checking out the inside conditions of it. We're also going to be walking the outside of the property and taking note of some of the items that we've read in third-party reports for this asset.
Later on, we're going to be meeting with some contractors and taking them through some of the units, as well as looking at the exterior to get an idea of our CapEx budget that we're going to need going into this deal.
All right, guys, today we're inside one of the units and just wanted to give you a quick overview of the things that we look at. So this is an old vintage finish. You can tell that the cabinetries, they have a flat design to it. These are more of a compressed wood type of design. So here we're looking to most likely probably switch out these cabinets and replace them with new cabinetry, most likely a shaker type of style, white with brushed nickel finishes, both top and bottoms. And for all the units in this complex, there is a washer dryer hookup here. So we are thinking to possibly install a top and bottom front loading washer dryer unit with a divider wall and kind of redesign a little bit of the cabinetries. The flooring, we'll probably be replacing it with LVP, luxury vinyl plank flooring, and basically just do a whole new paint job for the property. So these are just some of the things that we look for when we walk some of these older units. One of the things that we look for when we see trees next to the building is the distance of the trees to the front of the building. So what's happening in our case here is that all the gutters are completely clogged, causing the water overflow over top the gutter system, kind of just sheet flow to the front, causing potential water damage. So what we have is that we have a landscaping vendor that came in and gave us a quote to basically trim back the trees away from the building, and also do a power wash and a gutter cleaning. That way we kind of remediate that issue and have the gutters work properly by coming down the leaders here and then discharging to the grade. So right here we're standing in front of the condenser units, basically the lungs of the HVAC system. This is what provides cooling to the inside of the apartments. And you can tell the condition of these things is something you want to take a look at and note, because this one is very close to the end of its life. It may need replacing, but this one right here is a little bit newer. So it's just one of the things you want to incorporate into your CapEx budget for any replacements down the road.
In addition to incorporating that in your CapEx, you also want to build into your ongoing operations the maintenance of these, because obviously if you're replacing these, you want them to last as long as possible. So regular maintenance is a part of that plan. Right now we're at a comparable property to the subject property. It's always a part of our due diligence process that we look at the competitive marketplace to see what some of our comparable properties are offering, and that allows us to go into the deal having a much better idea of rental rates, of what they're offering, as well as some of the interior finishes. It helps us inform our business plan for our property.
So we'd like to find possibly 5 to 6 of these comp properties near our subject property, and we like to do what we call mystery shopping. So basically we go in, we get a tour of the property, we check out the apartment units, we ask a lot of questions obviously, and we just kind of check out the area and see what this comparable property is offering.
Yeah, and again, that gives us a really good idea of what we could potentially get with similar type finishes on our property. So when we're at a comp property, we'll look for what amenities they offer. As you can see here in this courtyard, there's a dog run as well as grilling stations. In real estate, as many know, there are no two perfect comparables. Every property is a little bit different. But what we try to do is look at the relative value that a tenant gets at one property versus the other, keeping in mind a lot of these amenities that are offered. So we'll look at a number of properties and we'll look at what they're charging at a top line rate, as well as what they're charging per foot, and we'll look at what those amenities packages are, and we'll try to come to some understanding of what we will be able to offer given our amenity package and our square foot.
So right now we're in South 4th Street. This is a very popular area of downtown Louisville. It's a great place to grab a beer, hang out with your friends, and listen to some great country music.
And we're here because we're coming to tour some of the attractions locally. We tend to focus on markets where the millennial population is growing. Here in the city of Louisville, 21% of the population is millennials. Further to that, 29% of the population is 25 or older, has a bachelor's degree or higher.
Now this is super important because this provides a steady stream of employees, which is very important to a large employer here in Louisville.
And again, jobs drive markets. Yeah, so we're here at Oxmoor Center because we like to look for, as part of our due diligence, what's going on within the sub-market in which we're looking to invest. So that includes things like where our tenants would be potentially shopping and what retailers tend to be in that area. That'll tell us a lot about what's going on in the local market. We like to know that our tenants have access to an abundance of retailers.
So we like to see these types of shopping centers, big name brands like Dick's and Old Navy, because we know that these companies have done their market research as far as like where to put a store. So they've done their tenant-based research, their population-based research, and they know that this area of Louisville is a great spot to open up a store.
The University of Louisville Hospital is considered the eds and meds sector, which is really attractive to us as investors because those are two sectors that tend to hold up really well in economic downturns.
So what this means for our investors is that they have full confidence that we at Maple Capital Partners, we invest in properties that have robust jobs, specifically an employer like the ones behind us that provides a lot of job opportunity for our future tenants.
And that's important because, after all, jobs drive markets. Not only do we look for these eds and meds exposure and employers, we also look for overall job diversity, meaning that it's not a one-horse town. There are many employers and many different industries driving the local economy. So this has been our due diligence video series. We've taken you through our due diligence process, which again is so crucial to any acquisition that you make, because a lot of the heavy lifting is done up front. You want to make sure that you get as many of the early questions out of the way as possible, because the last thing that you want to do is acquire an asset and then find out some hidden surprise is waiting for you.
So as always, we thank you for watching this short video, and we hope that you've gotten to know our due diligence process a little bit better, as well as gotten to know the local market. And as we always say here at Maple Capital Partners, be kind, be charitable, and invest wisely, my friends.